Back in business, an update from the owner of Paisans as the city gives the all clear for the restaurant to reopen for a second time. Plus, the judge in the Chandler Halderson case is announcing plans to resume the trial, what we've learned about the timing. And starting tomorrow, how you can order free at-home COVID tests courtesy of the federal government. News 3 Now at 10 starts right now. Good evening and thanks for having us in. Before we get to those stories, let's get an update on the weather. A fine powdery snow covers much of the area. Well, for anyone driving out there tonight, the city is warning about potentially slippery stretches. This afternoon, Madison Streets Department was out sending the plows. But the wind is making clearing all the roads difficult. The city has not declared a snow emergency, which it does when roads are covered with 3 or more inches of snow. But let's go right out to Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti with a first look at our certified most accurate forecast. Gary?
Already, that's the problem. You know, we're not going to meet the criteria for a snow emergency, and the plows really don't have anything to plow. It's just that powdery snow flying around, and with temperatures on the cold side, the salt really doesn't work that well. You can see persistent snow out to the west in Iowa, but most of the snow is winding down across Wisconsin, except for the far southwestern portion of the state. Most of us have flurries, if anything, is falling from the sky. Madison right now reporting visibility of about 10 miles, but visibility a mile and a half with some light snow in Janesville. That's the exception, though. Most of the other reporting stations are doing pretty well. We have winter weather advisories in effect until 3 a.m. tomorrow morning for Crawford and Grant counties. Temperatures right now are around 10 north of Madison, in the mid-teens here in town, and near 20 to the south, but you factor in those brisk winds, and wind chills are now below 0 through much of southern Wisconsin. But tomorrow morning, temperatures will be down to around 11 here in Madison. Look for some breaks in the clouds tomorrow, but it'll be a very cold day with a high of 18. Later on, I'll take a look at a forecast that doesn't include much in the way of snow, but it does include another shot of cold air later next week.
Thanks, Gary. And with the colder weather settling back in, now is a great time to download our Channel 3000 First Warned Weather app. Check it out for free in your app store of choice. A popular restaurant in downtown Madison reopened today for the first time since last month. City inspectors forced the building it's in to close for a second time due to the risk of collapse. But today, an all clear. Well, for now. Tahlil Mohideen spoke with one of the owners today. Tahlil?
Well, Paisans isn't the only business to be affected by the dual closures, but it is one of the most affected. And though they were ready to reopen today, the restaurant's owner says there's still a long road ahead.
Back open for service.
It's pretty exciting, but it's also kind of terrifying.
After about a month away, Paisans co-owner Wally Vorowski says returning to normal isn't so easy.
A lot of the staff has either migrated to Portobello and filled in spots there or left.
And Vorowski says he doesn't blame them.
There's so many people that have no idea whether we're closed, open, and then they'd probably even be concerned about coming into the building.
The building, 131 West Wilson Street, closed for weeks after city building inspectors raised the alarm about structural concerns in the underground parking garage, worried the whole building was in danger of collapsing.
It's not fair. It just isn't fair.
A major blow for tenant Vorowski and his restaurant.
The lost revenue and sales, the lost product that was either given away, thrown away.
And though city officials have cleared the building to stay open, at least for now, they say the owners of 131 West Wilson will need to make more permanent repairs. But Paisans may not be around to wait.
We have been looking because obviously it would be foolish for us to assume that anything is going to be, this thing is going to continue as it is.
Still, after investing so much in the property on West Wilson,
this floor was entirely installed by Paisans employees. We didn't have a flooring contractor come in and do that. We did that ourselves.
They're hoping for the best.
Paisans co-owner also says they're still expecting compensation from their landlord from the initial closure in September and the second closure in December. In order for the building to remain open, the site's integrity will need to be inspected and certified every 2 weeks by city officials.
Thank you, Tahlil. The Rock County District Attorney has decided not to charge a Beloit police officer for a shooting last month. Sergeant Shannon Dykstra shot Jorge Bautista Alvarez after a fight during a welfare check on December 15th. Investigators say he tried to take the officer's gun and then lunged at her. That's when he was shot twice. Alvarez was treated for his injuries at a local hospital before being released and charged with attempting to disarm a peace officer and criminal damage to property. The officer was not hurt. A woman was able to escape injury after a house fire this afternoon in Stoughton. The home on Williams Drive was badly damaged. Crews arrived at about 4:30 and could see smoke coming from the attic and the back of the building. Crews are now working to determine what caused it. The homicide trial of Chandler Halderson is set to resume on Tuesday after a delay prompted by the defendant's COVID diagnosis. Judge John Hyland issued an order today saying the trial will resume as the quarantine periods for everyone involved have passed and nobody else has developed symptoms. Before the trial was delayed on Tuesday, prosecutors had said they had anticipated wrapping up their case by today. The trial will resume at 8:30 Tuesday morning. As always, if you want to watch for yourself, News 3 Now will be streaming it live. You can go to channel3000.com for an in-depth refresh on the proceedings. In Waukesha, the man accused in the deadly November SUV attack on the Christmas parade is heading to trial. A judge made the decision this afternoon. 6 people were killed and more than 60 others were injured when the SUV driven by Darrell Brooks barreled through the crowd. He is facing 77 charges, including multiple counts of first-degree intentional homicide. The lead investigator in the case testified that Brooks zigzagged his SUV through the crowd and appeared to be aiming for people. Brooks will be back in court February 11th. In Washington, D.C., Stewart Rhodes made his first court appearance this afternoon on charges of seditious conspiracy for his role in the January 6th Capitol assault. He's the leader of the far-right group, the Oath Keepers. The government accuses him of using encrypted messages to organize the January 6th assault. But his attorney says his client never entered the Capitol.
I don't believe that any of these charges can be proven at trial. I think they were dumb to go to the Capitol. I mean, he's like, I didn't go to the Capitol because I'm not dumb. I'm not going to do that.
As the leader of one extremist group is going behind bars, the leader of another extremist group has been set free. Henry Enrique Terrio was released from jail in Washington, D.C. this morning. He was arrested 2 days prior to January 6th and served 4 months in jail for setting fire to a Black Lives Matter banner. At least 37 members of the Proud Boys have been arrested and charged for their actions on January 6th. Taking a look at our COVID headlines today, over the past week, Wisconsin is now averaging nearly 11,000 new cases per day. That is by far the highest average of the pandemic. All 72 counties in the state are seeing critically high levels of transmission. Earlier this month, the Biden administration announced plans to ship out millions of free at-home testing kits. And tonight, we're getting a closer look at exactly how that will work. The experts we spoke with today says it's critically important. Brad Hamilton reports.
Lines wrapped around buildings, sometimes even blocking traffic in Fitchburg, and at-home kits often sold out as soon as they come in stock show COVID testing is in high demand right now.
It is important that people know this is an option for them now.
That new option, making at-home rapid testing free. Starting tomorrow, insurance companies will have to start covering the cost. State Insurance Commissioner spokesperson Sarah Smith says it does come with some limitations.
They're required to do that for up to 8 tests per person on the plan per month. So a family of 4 could get 32 tests in a month if they needed to.
The Biden administration hopes insurance companies work with these pharmacies to make free kits available on a walk-in basis. But until that happens, you may need to file to get your money back.
Making sure people keep their receipts, any documentation, if it's something you ordered online, make sure it doesn't send that receipt email to your spam box. Make sure you keep track of all those records.
The policy comes at a crucial time in the pandemic, especially for hospitals. Wisconsin hit a new pandemic high for total patients this week with 2,278 on Wednesday, while emergency rooms remain packed. WHA's Joanne Alec explains.
just such a high demand right now and such a high surge. And we really want to make sure that those beds, that the emergency room is there for people who need it.
The Wisconsin Hospital Association hopes that fewer people showing up who don't need emergency help and just need a COVID test will be a small but significant impact on our situation.
Another tool in the toolbox to allow patients to have access to testing without having to seek that in the emergency room.
That was Brad Hamilton reporting. A company that claims to provide free COVID-19 testing says it's temporarily shutting down operations for a week to retrain its staff. The Center for COVID Control is based out of Rolling Meadows, Illinois. It did have some pop-up locations in the Madison area. The closure comes as the company's clinics have received a long list of complaints and carries an F rating with the Better Business Bureau. The NFL has confirmed the Super Bowl will go on as planned February 13th in Los Angeles, despite the COVID surge. It'll be held at SoFi Stadium, and more than 70,000 fans are expected. Attendees will need to provide proof of vaccination or a negative COVID test, and they must wear masks except when eating. LA hasn't hosted a Super Bowl in 29 years, so this year's game gives the city a chance to show off its new $5.5 billion stadium. In more local news, the search for a new UW system president has been narrowed down to 2 finalists. They are UW Eau Claire Chancellor James Schmidt and law firm CEO Jay Rothman. Both will have interviews with the Special Regent Committee and other groups on Tuesday. A final decision is expected by the end of the month. The Wisconsin Supreme Court has agreed to review a case arguing the Madison School District's policy not to tell parents if a transgender student chooses to use a different name at school violates parents' constitutional rights. The lawsuit was initially filed nearly 2 years ago. Advocates say the policy is designed to support students who may not be ready to come out to their family members, while opponents have argued the move takes away parents' rights when it comes to their child's life and health care related decisions. Flags across the state are returning to half-staff today in honor of Mineral Point Fire Captain Brian Bush. He was laid to rest this afternoon. He and firefighter James Ludlam were killed in a crash last week while responding to another crash. Their fire truck was hit by a semi as they were turning around. A funeral for firefighter Ludlam was held on Wednesday. Still ahead at 10, your full weekend forecast and whether any more snow is on the way. But first, a multi-billion-dollar plan to physically rebuild bridges across the country. That story is up next.
Dear Jack Frost, people say you've got ice in your veins. But underneath it all, you're just a big old softie. Go ahead, try to nip at our toes. Thanks to our available Remote Connect, we'll be toasty and warm and ready to go. Warm wishes, Toyota Cars.
Every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, a 2-year or 25,000-mile maintenance plan and roadside assistance. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
I'm a little old to count down the days, but my ski trip to Cascade Mountain with my cousin each year, so much fun. We used to pretend like we were flying. Now, we really do. My dad and my uncle like that we still ski free. But Noah and I, we just have fun. See you there.
We're here at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison, looking back at some of today's amazing plays.
Check it out, the old double play. 2 machines at once.
I'm not even sure that's allowed. And how about this celebration?
Man, these guys are on form. And an incredible drink delivery. Whoa! What a great recovery.
Yeah, and that beer looks pretty delicious.
It sure does. Let's join them.
Heck yeah.
Ho Chunk Gaming Madison.
Hey sandwich fan, new Denny's melts belong in your hand. Patty melts a classic, Big Dipper's fantastic, and the Nashville hot chicken, bombastic? Our lineup of melts, grilled to please. See you at Denny's.
Just 2 pills for all-day pain relief. Aleve it and see what's possible. And also try Aleve X topical pain relief.
Whether you have a design emergency or you just want to shop the best furniture showroom in town, you need Dwellings, Madison's best kept secret for design and furniture. Shop our fabulous showroom, Hard Rock Road, Fitchburg.
Saturday morning, we'll have the weekend's top headlines, including the latest on the effects of the Omicron surge. Plus, a big drop in temperatures on the way. We'll time it out in your certified most accurate forecast Saturday at 5 and 8.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Welcome back. The U.S. is planning to spend $26.5 billion to repair bridges across the country. Today, the White House announced the Bridge Formula program, which will fix and upgrade about 15,000 highway bridges, including ones in D.C., Puerto Rico, and on tribal lands. The money comes from the $1.2 trillion bipartisan infrastructure law passed in November. The repair program is expected to be rolled out over the next 5 years. Those interested in Affordable Care Act coverage for 2022 have until the end of tomorrow to sign up in most states. Open enrollment, which lasted a month longer than under the Trump administration, ends tomorrow in the 33 states that use the federal exchange, healthcare.gov. More than 14.2 million people had signed up for coverage on the federal and state exchanges as of January 8th, a record number for the 9-year-old program. Tomorrow marks the anniversary of one of the most famous emergency landings in modern aviation history. It'll be 13 years since the Miracle on the Hudson took place. On January 15th, 2009, Captain Chesley Sully Sullenberger was flying a U.S. Airways flight when it hit a flock of birds and was damaged. Well, Sully went on to do what many consider to be impossible and successfully landed the plane in the Hudson River. 155 people were evacuated from the plane and rescued by boat. Co-piloting that plane was Jeff Skiles. He lives in the Madison area, and just yesterday, our Eric Franke spoke with him about 5G concerns around airports and the ongoing battle between the cell carriers and the airlines. To see it for yourself and to hear from the co-pilot from the Miracle on the Hudson, just go to channel3000.com. Delta Airlines is giving customers an extra year to use e-credits. Travelers get them for things like unused tickets and can spend them on new flights. Delta says customers will be able to rebook with e-credits through 2023 for travel anytime through 2024. And that goes for people who have e-credits now and those who will get them this year. The airline is also extending voucher periods for Delta vacation customers. Last year was the 6th warmest on record, according to new reports from NASA and NOAA. They show that Earth's temperature has been above the 20th century average for 45 years now. It keeps climbing due to fossil fuel emissions that trap heat. Now for a check of our first warned weather, here's Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti.
Brady, here is a list of the top 10 warmest years, according to our friends over at Climate Central. And you can see 2021, 6th warmest. The warmest year, 2016, where the average temperature was almost 1.25 degrees above that long-term average from the 20th century. But notice every single one of these years since 2010. So basically, the entire last decade has seen the warmest temperatures that we've seen, at least since weather records were starting to be reported back in the mid-1800s. Now, as we take a look at snow accumulations, it doesn't seem like we've been very warm today, and it hasn't been. It's been cold, and we've had some snow, 3.6 inches in Prairie du Chien. Wazeeka, actually, that is 2 inches, not 23 inches, or 230 inches. Cassville, 1.7 inches. Here at the station, 0.6 of an inch, and the airport in Madison officially, as of the last report, a 1/2 inch of snow. 3 things you need to know in the forecast. Look for cold weather for tomorrow and Sunday. Temperatures will be below normal. Upper teens for highs tomorrow, middle 20s on Sunday. Some flurries or some snow showers, a possibility Sunday afternoon. And then after a couple of days where we have temperatures actually slightly above normal for Monday and Tuesday, those temperatures turn very cold again for the second half of next week, beginning on Wednesday and lasting through next weekend. High temperatures only in the teens, and nighttime low temperatures, several of those nights will be right around 0. Doppler track shows still some light snow showers or flurries, mainly over southwestern Wisconsin. Everywhere else, just a few flurries. Nothing really that's going to add to the snow that's already fallen. And in most areas, it's been less than an inch. The only exception has been out near the Mississippi River. Grant and Crawford counties have had a little heavier snow there. But the heaviest snow has stayed to the west from Minnesota, now pushing through Iowa. In fact, if we take a look at visibilities right now, visibility a half-mile of moderate snow in Des Moines, Iowa, 1 mile visibility in Waterloo, Iowa. That seems to be about the eastern edge of the heavier snow right now. Most of Wisconsin, if we're seeing any snow at all, it's just flurries and very light in terms of the amount of precipitation. Now, as we look at the advisories still, there are winter weather advisories for Grant and Crawford counties through 3 a.m. tomorrow morning. Winter storm warnings have been cut back now to central Iowa, but this storm will drop to the south, pick up more moisture, and then head northeastward, and it will impact much of the mid-Atlantic states into New England. Winter storm watches, winter storm warnings already in effect for parts of Virginia and North Carolina from the storm. They could see a mixture of snow and ice. And look at the heavy snow total. Some areas could pick up over a foot of snow from the mountains of western Virginia all the way up into western New York State, where that'll be enhanced by some lake effect snow as well. So winter weather advisories in effect till 3 a.m. tomorrow morning for Crawford and Grant counties. Look for an overnight low temperature of about 11 degrees as the snow and flurries come to an end. Tomorrow, a high temperature of 18. It'll be dry during the day, but it'll be cold with temperatures staying below normal. On future track, the snow moving out tonight. By tomorrow morning, temperatures drop into the lower teens, and then highs upper teens tomorrow, mid-20s Sunday, a couple degrees warmer, upper 20s on Monday, and mid-30s on Tuesday with some snow showers or flurries. And then notice those temperatures drop back. Nighttime low temperatures, many nights down near zero, with wind chills some of those mornings down to 10 to 20 below zero.
A roller coaster couple of weeks for the Badger men's hockey team. This weekend, they wrap up their homestand. We have highlights of their explosive series opener with Michigan State next in sports.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
News 3 Now and St. Vincent de Paul are collecting new and gently used blankets for our neighbors in need. You can drop them off at any Dane County St. Vincent de Paul store or participating area churches the last weekend in January. Thank you for your generosity.
Over these past months, we've all experienced changes and a great deal of reflection. But here's a change you can truly be excited about. Sono Bello, America's #1 cosmetic surgery specialist, permanently removes the fat from your stomach, hips and thighs, and back.
I walked past mirrors. I didn't want to see any of that. I can't even tell you how excited I am about Sono Bello and what they've done for me.
I'm just living my best life now because I'm being the best that I can be.
Sono Bello's board-certified surgeons use micro-laser technology to safely target and remove your diet-resistant fat cells permanently. Schedule your free, no-obligation consultation. Plus, get $250 off instantly. You deserve to do something for you. Call 1-888-512-1753 or go to sonobello.com now.
Isn't it great how swinging through Culver's drive-thru marks the unofficial start to family time? How biting into a hot-off-the-grill Butterburger makes worries melt away? And how a fresh frozen custard concrete mixer puts a smile on your face every time. Here, a meal you didn't have to make is a meal made fresh for you. And being greeted with a smile, even beneath a mask, makes all the difference.
There's a reason we put so much care into our food. That reason is you. Welcome to Delicious.
New in 2022, with the Eye Care Benefit Card, members have access to even more. In addition to receiving up to $1,200 per year in over-the-counter health items, members get a $50 monthly allowance for healthy food purchases and can earn rewards for completing healthy activities like getting a flu shot. Call the Eye Care Benefits Helpline for a free consultation to get all the benefits you're entitled to. Rest easy. Eye Care is looking out for you and your health.
Nurse Mariam Sabo knows a moment this pure demands a lotion this pure. New Gold Bond Pure Moisture Lotion. 24-hour hydration. No parabens, dyes, or fragrances. Gold Bond. Champion your skin.
Weather can be weathered with technology there to help you in a Ford Escape. Winter roads can be tough. Bronco Sport, tougher. And Explorer can take the bite out of chilly mornings. Ford, winter like you mean it. Right now, lease an adventure-ready 2021 Ford Explorer for $389 a month. Only your Wisconsin and UP Ford dealers.
The Badgers are proving to be a very dangerous group this season, and a lot of that is because of how dynamic they are. On any given night, it's a different player stepping up, and one who is doing that frequently this season is Tyler Wall. Whether it's on offense or defense, he doesn't hesitate to make his presence known. Against the Buckeyes, he dropped 20 points, plus had a season-high 6 assists. Now, this one comes right after he scored a season-high 21. His level of play, it's all coming down to one word: confidence.
When you're an underclassman and then become an upperclassman, you know, a lot of things come with that you hope develop, and the leadership is, you know, he's improved his game in all areas. Finally got some threes to go in for him, but just the confidence I think that he plays with right now. You know, it's a race between him and Brad and whoever for floor burns, who's going to be on the floor, and you like to have those type of guys on your team.
Now the Badgers get a little break before their next game, which is on the road against Northwestern. Tip-off is set for 8 on Tuesday. Big 8 battle and high school girls hoops. 7th-ranked Sun Prairie hosting Madison Memorial. First meeting of the season. Spartans come out of the gate ready to go. McLean Mahone lets it fly from the top of the key to make it a 10-point lead over the Cardinals. Then SP changes the name of the game. They catch fire late first half. Marie Outlay tips and steals, follows through for the layup, and turns it into an old-fashioned 3-point play. And just minutes later, she hits a triple from the corner to give the Cardinals the lead. They go on to win this Big 8 matchup 52-44, making it 3 straight wins. It's been a tough stretch for the Badger men's hockey team. Between ties, losses, postponed games, the Badgers are itching for a win, hosting Michigan State this weekend. It takes all of 4 minutes for Wisconsin to light the lamp. Liam Malmquist gets Bucky on the board. It's his first goal as a Badger. Now, after the Spartans tie it up, Badgers respond with force. 2 goals in under a minute to put them safely ahead. They win 5-2. The series wraps tomorrow at 8. The Associated Press's first-team All-Pro selections are out, and between Packers and former Badgers, Wisconsin is being well represented. Earning unanimous votes are Devontae Adams and former Badgers Jonathan Taylor and TJ Watt. It's Watt's 3rd time being named All-Pro, the 2nd for Adams, and Taylor is a newcomer. It's his first All-Pro selection. Now, joining Taylor as a first-timer is Packers' Devondre Campbell. He's the team's first inside linebacker to be named All-Pro in 55 years. And, of course, gotta have QB1. Aaron Rodgers makes team history with his 4th All-Pro selection. And side note, his last 3 selections coincided with the years he won MVP. It's NFL wildcard weekend. It's upon us, meaning the Packers are officially entering their first-round bye. But even though they're not playing this weekend, the Pack is still grinding it out at practice, using this time to fine-tune areas of their game ahead of the divisional round. Now, the message at practice, especially on defense, is to use this time to focus on yourself and tighten things up, since the Packers aren't prepping for a specific team just yet.
Everything's been self-evaluation, and we've been in our indie groups a lot, going over getting back to our fundamentals and things that maybe we've gotten away from, or maybe that we need to work on, maybe how teams are attacking us, just different things like that.
We'll be right back.
Morning. Who said that? Whoa, where did that come from? Floating money.
Funny.
Good luck out there.
American Family Insurance filmed a commercial featuring real dads and their kids. No scripts, just family. Because nothing speaks louder than that.
Prayers, prayers, prayers. Time to say our prayers. Dio, Dio, Dio. Are you ready to say your prayers? Yes or no?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Guess what? You get 2 kisses.
Uh-oh.
For all-day pain relief. Aleve it and see what's possible. And also try Aleve X topical pain relief.
Hey sandwich fan, new Denny's melts belong in your hand. Patty melts a classic, Big Dipper's fantastic, and the Nashville hot chicken, bombastic? Our lineup of melts, grilled to please. See you at Denny's.
The big in-stock winter blowout sale is on at Slumberland Furniture. Get year-end savings on everything in stock. Over 20 different sofas in stock and ready to go. Over 50 accent chairs and recliners too. In-stock items can be in your home really fast, even just a few days in some areas. Plus, save an extra 30% off all clearance items in store. Huge store-wide savings. Everything is on sale and shipping is free. The big in-stock winter blowout at Slumberland Furniture.
Step into the new when you drive a Chevy. It's time for a fresh approach and a new perspective. Meet new friends or reconnect with some old ones and find the Chevy that's right for you. Find new experiences, find new roads. Step into the new with a new Chevy. Very well qualified buyers can get 0% financing on most Chevy vehicles. Plus, current Chevy owners get an additional $750 bonus cash. Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in Wisconsin.
Madison Magazine Winter Restaurant Week is here. Participating restaurants will provide a 3-course dinner starting at $25, featuring wine and more. Dining with a choice. Don't miss Madison Magazine's Winter Restaurant Week 2022, starting January 23rd through the 28th. For participating restaurants, menus, and details, visit MadisonRestaurantWeek.com. Presenting sponsor, the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund. Supporting sponsor, E&J Gallo Winery.
Hey, Lady, when is the baby coming?
Very, very soon.
Dad, what about yours?
You're gonna... Yeah, okay, well...
Connect with News 3 Now on Facebook Messenger.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Finally tonight, $3 million? Oof, that's how much it cost to buy the most expensive page from a comic book ever to sell at auction. The page was from a 1984 Marvel comic book and features Spider-Man's first time in his infamous all-black suit. Heritage Auctions sold it for $3.36 million. Heritage says that makes the item the world's most valuable page of original comic book artwork. Wow.
I don't see the money in that, but that's just me.
I wish I had drawn that.
Well, on the radar tonight, still have some snow showers and flurries to our south and west. Really not amounting to very much. Visibilities right now are in pretty good shape, so most of the accumulating snow is over with now.
Thanks, everyone, for spending this time with us. Have a wonderful evening.